And we are live. All right. So I am thrilled to be here speaking to our community with Loving Without Boundaries. First of all, thank you for being part of our community. We are glad that you are getting the support and the love here, where you have a safe environment to ask questions and know that you're not alone if you are coloring outside of the lines of heteronormative monogamy. So I'm thrilled to be here with Gordon and Jenn so that they can inspire hope in you and your journey, because a lot of people don't realize that help is out there if you are struggling. So Gordon and Jenn have come to work with me over the last couple months, and they've had such incredible success that I'm thrilled that they said yes to share their story with you. So welcome. And I'd love it if you would just introduce yourselves in your own words.
Good morning. I'm Jenn. Gordon and I have been married for over 20 years. We both came from our first marriages that ended because of infidelity on our other partners' parts. Saw greener pastures and left, and we were friends and ended up single at the same time, and been together ever since. It's been awesome. We're each other's best friends, and the yin to each other's yang is kind of what I always say. We entered into this. Oh, sorry.
I mean, that introduction makes it sound like we were single at the same time because we both had this crushing thing that happened to us. But she is smoking hot, and because I'm like, I had let it wait for a while, but I had to try to see if I could get a hold of that.
And I love you saying that, because we are in a sex positive group here. So I love just coming out with it. And she is smoking hot. Jenn, you're beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, we definitely had huge chemistry right off the bat. So that didn't hurt.
It damn sure didn't hurt.
So we have 4 kids, 2 that he had from his first marriage that I came into being Instamom. And then we also have 2 together, and those 2 are still at home at this point. They're late teens. We just decided, after talking about, fantasies and things like that, and just really having good communication about, what else is out there for us, and what's our past and what's our future, and what kinds of things would you like to experience sexually. And that's when we decided, let's explore this whole E&M thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, looking at just kind of getting back and finding out more about each other and communicating and finding out, hey, what have you done in the past? What have you experienced, and what would you like to experience?
Mm-hmm.
And just fantasy building.
Mm-hmm.
And realizing I haven't experienced a lot, and maybe we should go out and find some crazy things to go do. And we're secure in each other. We felt fairly secure, and the communication was there. Past starts coming up after you kind of start getting out there, but that's not where we're at in this conversation yet. But just trying to figure out what is it we want to go do with our lives, and we're secure enough to go feel like, hey, we can go out and make some adventures, and we're okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing all of that so beautifully. And just for folks who are watching or maybe listening to the recording later, how long ago was it that the 2 of you started exploring consensual non-monogamy?
I think it was about 2.5 years ago now.
Okay. And then so when you reached out to me, which was roughly 2.5 months ago or so, where were each of you at on that journey? What caused you to reach out? What were some of the challenges that you were facing at that time?
Well, I had, as we started going out and adventuring and reaching out, I saw this woman as our monogamous marriage, and that's what our entire life was. I was married for 10 years prior to us, and we've been married for 20. So 30 years of marriage and relationship in just the marriage form, besides the when you're growing up and your family's monogamous lifestyle, and that total picture of what you thought life should be. Our marriage was really good. And I never felt at any point after having a wife, my previous, that was always looking elsewhere. There was nothing there that kept her home.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I do, much as I could, plead the case, whatever. So this lady here, she was always focused on here, our
Mm,
relationship, our home, everything. But when we opened up, I saw a different person. What I thought was a different person. I mean, it was opening up and changing, and it frightened me,
mm, mhm,
and I didn't know how to deal with it.
mhm,
Having had those things in the past that happened, it really started opening up some things of fear and jealousy that I could not overcome. And I
Things that
had
you thought that you had already dealt with and gotten over, and then all of a sudden, surprise, here they are
oh
again.
man, I
mm,
was it hit me hard, and I tried myself to not put anything on her, because what we were discussing and through this is that no, this is what we talked about and we agreed to and we understand. So I'm not saying you're doing something wrong or outside of what I told or what we agreed on.
mhm,
But I had this struggle, and I'm like, and it was fear based. It was coming in from like inside, and like man, I felt like I was just like, I don't like this feeling, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to get rid of it. I just wanted to go away.
mhm,
And I did counseling and things in the past, after uh, that life, and thought, this is put away. It
mhm,
was for a long, long time, because I never had to ever concern myself with that with her. It,
mhm,
it was just different. And so, learning about this ethically non-monogamous lifestyle, and this, autonomy of each individual, I had to really figure some things out. I went to counseling, I went to hypnotherapy, I went to all
mhm,
things, and I just struggled. And it got better a little bit on some of it, because I was kind of getting it. A lot of it was trying to meditation and trying to settle myself,
mhm,
but it wasn't like reined in, and I
mhm.
couldn't find it.
And I don't remember, I think it was a podcast, that one of Kitty's podcasts that you listened to.
Yeah, it was somehow I was going through podcasts,
Mhm,
sex positive podcasts. I was going through a whole variety of things to learn, mostly
mhm,
on just that world. And I was listening to a variety of. We were kind of in our style. It was more in the kind of the swinging category rather than a poly category.
mhm.
Boy, whoa! When we went out and started getting into this community, learning about all the things.
All the different
Holy cow! When
names and
your
acronyms
life
and
is like this
Mhm.
is the channel that everybody's in, and there's this whole world out here that's outside of the channel. I didn't know it. It was like, what? How do you do that? Tell me about
how
that.
does that work?
Mhm, mhm,
We were learning about all that, but we kind of felt we were kind of in this category of, okay, we're wanting to reach out and do this fun stuff with people, and like-minded people and fun
mhm,
people that we could have some interaction with, and when we
mhm,
come home, we're secure with each other, and we just want to go out and have fun, and add to what our excitement in our life.
mhm.
So, but I just could not rein that in. But I'm listening to all these different things and trying to figure out all these nuggets that I could possibly take in, and something is going to come and help fix that for me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just couldn't get it.
Yeah, so you're, like, grasping at everything you could get your
Oh,
hands on, and I appreciate you sharing that too, like, you tried hypnotherapy, you tried counseling, and that was over the course of what, maybe a year, year and a half that you were trying
yeah,
all those other things?
yeah, and man,
I mean, we put a stop to any activities. We tried, doing a reset. We've always been really good at communication. Come to find out, we could be a lot better through this
yeah,
course,
yeah,
but we, we had that mutual goal of making sure we were okay.
mhm,
Mhm,
And so when he stumbled upon your podcast, and then he had me listen to it, and there was, maybe it was a Facebook Live, I can't remember, but it was something where at the end of it, there was an opportunity that if you wanted to have a free consultation
mhm,
call, you could do that.
mhm,
So,
we reached out and booked, and
yeah.
that was like last fall, like
And
6-7 months ago, when I had come across this. And I mean, I work out in the area of forest areas, limited cell service. So if I have one of these things streaming, I wait until I can get it streamed far enough that it'll continue to go.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Mhm,
be there for a while. And I,
mhm.
I just I stopped and listened so that I wouldn't lose that connection on that, because I was like, holy cow, what is this?
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
listening to the stories, and I mean, I think it was kind of more, it was an advertising piece for you, certainly, but it was something that was like, holy cow, there's somebody out there that has got something I'm finding nothing. I've gone to counseling. I've gone to all this stuff, and they're like,
Mhm.
they want to sit down and have you kind of figure out what's going on inside. And yeah, we
In
do
your
need to know
childhood.
what's gone on in the
Right.
past, because I did feel like there was things in my past that it created for me who I have been. And I
Mhm.
think we all find that we find, okay, I haven't been this because of these other things that happened in my past.
Mhm.
There was a
I feel
lack
like
of,
less than. I feel like
yeah.
because of this or because of that, and I don't
Mhm.
feel like I am necessarily an influential person. I don't feel like I'm a desired person. I was like all those things.
Mm.
yourself.
Mhm.
The
But there
negative.
weren't any tools to
Mm-mm,
get you past that,
mm-mm.
except that you were finding that were effective.
No, and all I
Right.
wanted to do was like talk therapy, so to speak,
Yeah. Yeah.
and meditation.
Mhm.
So when I
Yeah.
was listening to what you had, I was like, "Holy cow! It sounds like it's a course." And it's like, "What? I want to get some information on this." So I
Yeah.
had her listen to it, and I sat with her listening to it to make sure, one, I took it in again, but I wanted her to like hear it with me.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's so fun to hear. That's why I love doing these interviews, because I end up also learning more things about you or about your journey, sometimes for the first time. So
Mhm.
this actually really touches my heart. I wish I knew which podcast it was, but to picture, now that I've seen you on the calls, Gordon, and where you're working, picturing you in your truck, listening to this podcast and then sharing it with Jen, I had that in my mind's eye. It's very sweet. So maybe Jen, when you first heard that, what was some of your initial thoughts? Maybe.
The podcast and everything sounded right up our alley. I don't remember the details of it,
Mhm.
other than it sounded really promising.
Mhm.
And so when we got on the call with you, we were talking a lot about the types of things that you do and what we could get out of the call. But I was really skeptical, frankly.
And that was
Uh,
gonna be my question. Yeah, what were you skeptical about? Tell us about that.
um, I was, I don't know, I just felt the price of it was a little daunting. And even when we talked through it, we have, the reason it was daunting is because we have all these other issues with our, we got a daughter with a chronic illness. And so right now in this phase of life that we're in,
Mhm.
medical bills and having to travel with her and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So money's not abundant. Extra money's not abundant, I guess is what
Mhm.
I would say. And so the fear of making that investment, I was really not feeling it at all.
Mhm.
That was,
Mhm.
and it was interesting because I think it was on our second call that Gordon informed me during the call, oh, by the way, I went ahead and just did it.
I
Like,
remember that very vividly. Yeah. You were like, "What?"
oh, okay. Alrighty then. I guess we're doing this.
Mhm.
Which turned out to be such a huge blessing. I mean,
Mm.
by the first week, even in our first call with you, which was a free call, you had given us some like homework to do, and
Mhm.
looking at some things that we hadn't even considered. So that was intriguing. And then when he let us know that no, we're doing this. Guess what? So
Mhm. Mhm.
um I was really surprised, even by probably the first week of the Q&A calls, of seeing exactly what the course was,
Mhm.
and how much was involved in all the modules and I was like, oh, this is way more than just some lady talking to us. Like,
It's more than just some
oh,
counseling talk sessions again.
I get it now. Like,
Yeah. We're getting to work, sister, right?
yeah, yeah. And fortunately, we had been involved in a couple of organizations that had some focus on, um, I don't know if you want to call it like self-improvement or,
Mhm.
bettering yourself. We're continuing to work on, not just reading romance novels, but like actual work, like, how
Right.
to win friends and influence people,
Mhm.
like thinking big and, things that just open up your mind and exercise your brain a little bit. So that I realized probably the first week in, damn, I've gotten really lax about being present and being mindful and
Mhm.
and that side of me that craves to learn and think deeper. And
Mhm.
so I was really surprised about all that was involved in the course. And
Mhm.
I think it was, I don't know, it was the first or second Q&A call that we were on that I went, yeah, okay, so I kind of have to apologize for realizing that, there you've put a shit ton of work into this. Like there's hours and hours and hours of work compiled into this one, like, I don't know, hands are weird because the camera, um, like concise,
Let's do this.
there you
Ah.
go, concise um, learning mechanism
Mm.
that's available. And it, I realized how much you've like taken from all these different places and really just condensed it and made it super easy to learn. And then all of the hours that you're putting in, like with the Q&A calls and this and that, and the graduates I was like, oh, so maybe I was a little skeptical about the price and thinking, okay,
Presumptive.
presumption. Yeah, I was very presumptuous because I think probably if you were to, look, I don't know if you've ever done this, but I'm, like curious, to, like if you were to figure it all out, are you making are you making minimum wage?
You two are adorable. Yeah, it is. What I love about everything that you shared there is so heartfelt, but it is partly a labor of love. Like for example, when I first started the blog and the podcast, I wasn't making any money at all. It was a
Mhm.
labor of love,
Yeah.
but now it has really become my mission and my life purpose to help incredible people like yourselves. And look at where you are. And we'll get to that too. But I've gotten to know you. I've gotten to see you grow and learn and be vulnerable and make friends along the way.
Mhm.
So it's honestly, I joke around that I don't really feel like I'm working in a way because I just love what I do so much.
Mm.
And I struggled myself with depression and jealousy and insecurity. So it was great to be able to like put all the time up front in a way, learning what actually works, and then turn around and serve it up to people like yourselves to help you as quickly as humanly possible. Because we all want more joy and fun and love in our lives, right? And great sex and passion. Let's get more of that and
Yeah.
less of the fear and the insecurities. So it's honestly a joy to do all of the things. But I appreciate you saying the value that you saw once you
Mhm.
finally were inside our world, once you had a seat at the table, what was involved, and that it's all there to serve you. And I know in the beginning you had also very been forthright, Jen, saying it feels a little salesy. And I really hope, and now you see for sure, and so much of it is coming from the heart. Like I want to help you,
Mhm.
and but it's partly about investing in yourself and believing in
Mhm.
yourself. Because if you gave me $5, you wouldn't do the work. You
Right.
wouldn't. That's part of it too.
That
Yeah.
that is so spot on
Hmm.
because when you make an investment in something that's substantial,
Hmm.
you realize, okay, I'm not wasting this.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
maybe other people have money to throw around like that, but we don't. And we're going to do this. And that's saying, this is me saying we just had our graduate thing and I'm still not even halfway through the modules. So I love the fact that they're still available to me, that I got those for life. We can go back and do those anytime.
Mhm.
And I'm still motivated to go through and finish the work
Mhm.
because I've seen all of the just from the other couples that are going through and singles that are going
Mhm.
through the course with us that are at different places and hearing the different tools that they're able to use. that I haven't even gotten to yet in the modules.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exciting to
Yeah.
finish that work.
Mm-hmm.
And I've still gotten so much out of it, even just not even halfway through the modules. Gordon, he's the overachiever.
That's incredible.
So
Yeah,
he's
that's
got through
incredible.
everything. And
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
thank you for sharing all that, Jen. And I'd love to come back to you in a minute, but I'd love to give some time to Gordon. So when you first had that first call with me, like take me through, like, was there anything that you were skeptical about Gordon, or what made you decide to pull the trigger? What was going on for you?
Well, give a little history about us is that we've worked in law enforcement for our entire
Mm.
career. And we've seen a lot of things, a lot of deception. I mean, I've been lied to more than I've probably been told the truth.
Mm.
And on a daily basis, it was always getting lied to. Somebody's lying to me about something. And you come in with skeptical minds sometimes, and you had to kind of look through and see, what am I going to see in this? What am I going to get in this? And what am I hearing about what's coming that will help and benefit from what I'm looking for?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to say that whenever I was talking and listening to that podcast, listening to those testimonials, hearing about those other people that had some success. Ooh, I mean, from what I was dealing with, I needed to look for something that was going to help. And that's what I felt like when we went through this process with you. I'm like, no, that sounds like what I need to work through. This sounds like a coursework that can make something different in what is happening with us at this particular time. And we've been dealing with for a little while now. I mean, we have been completely secure in our marriage for over 20 years. And if we had never done this, we'd have been absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've moved into this realm and changed things. And I need some way of patching that and fixing it and really delving in. And whenever I made the commitment, I'm like, no, we're just going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I, shuffled some things around to make the financial commitment, and we're going to do it. And I didn't talk to her. No, normally we do. We talk about all those things.
Mm-hmm.
That was surprising, but it also made me realize he really needs this. Like I should have gotten that when the fact that he had lost like 20 pounds suddenly, like over the course of what seemed like a month, it was like almost like the divorce diet again. Like he was like really deeply upset and and unsettled. And so it shouldn't have surprised me that he pulled the trigger like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it really did. When he did, it made me realize he needs something, because he's really feeling quite desperate at this point. And I didn't really quite get the full impact, I think, that he was having. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for sharing so vulnerably, both of you, and especially for you, Gordon. So I want to honor the courage, both of you, really, the courage and the bravery to invest in yourselves, to trust me as your guide, and to take that leap of faith. And at the end of the day, I'm showing you the path, but you two are the ones that did all the work. You two are the ones that stood up as your superheroes and said, let's do this. Let's jump off the tallest building here, holding hands, and see what happens.
Right.
And so for
No
either, go ahead.
No capes.
No capes. And so I'd love to ask, what were some of your biggest biggest results that you got even in the first few weeks, or some of those shifts that started happening? Whoever would like to go first.
I think, I'll jump right in here and just kind of take the mic here. Getting in and looking at through all the modules. And at first it was like, whoa, there's a lot here. But it's so mapped out week by week. And if you can stay in, basically in and just continuing to make progress throughout your week on the week module that you're assigned in, you can kind of keep up, and you find yourself, sometimes there's commitments and things that really just kind of set you aside. You can't, but you can catch up over time. Some podcasts that you can listen to when you're mobile, and some of it's audible, and just trying to make sure I because of where I work, again, I'm working now out the forest areas, and I have time by myself quite a bit. But having it broken up in the way that you did, even on the assignments where you were in narrating the module, where you had these lessons you were doing, and having stop points rather than having this, okay, I'm going to listen to what she has to say, I'm going to listen to the whole thing, and then I'll come back and I'll do notes and do the assignments. I liked the way that it was like, okay, stop it, answer this.
Mm.
And I figured out a way pretty quickly how to pause it on because I was on my mobile phone, and just pause it on there, jump over to the word pad that's on my iPhone, and just voice narrate out, bullet point, narrate that answer out for that. First, narrate the question, and then narrate the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And then just started, jump back over, it starts up again, and then go back and do it. And it wasn't hard to do, even in my truck. And I was able, most of the time in those areas, I tried to make sure on those days that I had those assignments that I had cell service so that I could use that to make sure and keep it going. But I saw, whenever I was looking at more of introspection, looking at inside here of what I find my values, what identifies me, where do I come from, and breaking it down. Holy cow, I just didn't realize all the things. All these things and these things I talked about before, about all these things that I say that, or that's who I am, is truly not. Those are things that I'm letting weigh me down. But there are things that I really found that were all BS. And that I found that I had a lot more different values and a different system of belief and so I found myself actually empowered by it. And that I was a lot more than what I was letting myself believe through those assignments. And then pretty quickly on one of the shares, because they have, you have your weekly shares, and we're not always here like this. And even when we are, she's sharing something about her celebration, or during the teaching part of it, where one particular one stood out, where you had an example where we were talking about just being forthright and truthful with another person, and the person steps away to get French fries, to go to the bathroom, excuse me, and French fries, food arrives, and I've snagged your French fries. So when the person comes back, do you tell them, and are you upfront about telling them, or do you let them sit and figure out that there's food missing and they ask? And which way do you operate? And are you more of the, I'm going to tell you that I let you know that I did this, and be upfront, or be like, okay, like my ex-wife, and I always had to figure it out. I mean, my detective skills were always there, trying to figure out what was going on. And whenever I heard her, and we were independent at the time, she was at home, I was at work, and I was hearing her stepping up and her just putting it out there. She was one of the first ones to answer something like that. And hearing her saying what she was saying gave me so much strong belief as to who she is.
Yeah.
So not only did I find myself in finding more strength into who I was finding who she was, and my strength and belief and understanding of how she operates. Because those are things that we don't even talk about. I mean, I don't know how you would flesh them out to try to talk about them in a relationship, to say, so how do you, are you one of those that we're always going to say, oh yeah, I'd tell you anything. I'd tell you every time. If I did something, I'd tell you. But when it comes down to it, whenever she's in a group that I was popping in and out on that particular call, and I popped back in, and all of a sudden I'm hearing this. I'm like, wow, okay. And it gave me a lot more solid understanding and belief as to who she is and what she is. And here, this issue of my fear, and it was the jealousy comes from that fear, that false evidence that you're believing. And it wasn't, I didn't think it as jealousy, but that's the only thing you can title it as, is that I'm worried about losing this person, this connection. And then, but I hear that and I realize, I don't know what you're worried about, because she's being completely upfront. She's being completely honest. She is not being anything other than what she's saying she is.
Yeah.
And there's no evidence of it.
Wow.
And it really gave me a lot more solid belief in our relationship. And throughout the course, going through those types of modules and learning about each other, I mean, the first weeks, like you said, it was just like, oh, holy crap.
Wow.
It was more than I had gotten in the entire couple of years of trying to fix this problem.
Wow.
Just in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. It was really amazing, the shift for him, and seeing that shift. And even for myself, realizing that this course wasn't just about ethical non-monogamy. It was with that kind of sphere umbrella, who are you and what motivates you and what are your values? And I didn't realize that before we can come to these solid agreements about how we want to go about this, we need to figure out this and this and this about ourselves. And it really impressed me that there was so much more to it than just the ethical non-monogamy piece or the consensual non-monogamy, however you want to phrase it. The work on yourself and how to live your best life was such a much needed bonus that I wasn't even on my radar when we entered this. Like I didn't even have a clue that was going to be part of this.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And I love how you highlighted too about sometimes people might get in their minds that they want to do one-on-one talk therapy or counseling. So I love that you highlighted that it was partly the group calls where you saw some of the magic happen, including what you were sharing, Gordon, like, wow, I'm hearing my beautiful woman speak here and it's helping my belief system in who I married, who she is. And that's helping me to feel blessed and grateful and more secure, because you're like, okay, I get to see who she is in this group environment, and that's magical. So, and
well, and it helps support the fact that what I'm seeing and feeling is this internal fear that is false. Absolutely. And that's like, helping cure that issue is like, okay, this is all false. There's not evidence here that what you're seeing is actually happening.
Yeah. Amazing. So thank you for both of you for sharing so beautifully and from the heart. And I'd love to hear, where are you today? Like now that you've put in the work for the last few months, you showed up and did all the things and trusted the journey. Where would you say you find yourselves today?
Well, I certainly see ongoing benefit from all of this. We see the conversations we're having with our children. They're teens that even in just the last parts of this, realizing that people of anybody we have contact with, being judgmental, which is pretty darn easy to do in just our society. But when you come from our background too, coming in from the skeptical, being lied to all the time and having to investigate people, and they're not always truthful. They don't want they don't want to let you people know that we're doing these kinds of crazy things, or I've done these things and I'm still doing them, or, whether it's addictions or whatever. But I really come to realize generational gaps cause a lot of issue with judgments towards each other. Everybody has their own story, that's their story. And that's why they are where they are and who they are. And realizing that your story is different. Our stories are different. And they don't have to be compatible, but we can coexist. And putting that up with our children and having these conversations about all these things that we've learned through this coursework, and realizing and opening our eyes to, you do you and we'll be fine. And we can all be good. And I see how it can benefit us with our relationships with everyone else around us. Besides just helping our children be good, warm people that can do the same. And going forward, I totally see a different interaction with the people around us, the people we interact with sexually and non, and with each other, and just growing from that. And then just understanding solidly who I am, and learning, going back and even having these modules to even go back and review again. And this is who you are, and this is who I believe I am. And solidly understanding the person and the autonomy that I have and that she has. It was so eye-opening, and we've come so far from it, from where we were before, and not realizing that so many of those things were lacking. Didn't even know.
Wow.
and limiting us that
Yeah.
we didn't realize.
Yeah.
too.
And so I feel so much more empowered, and we're going out and interacting with people. In fact, we had an outing a couple weeks ago we had a couple couples come with us to this little club where we were going, and man, I just was like social butterfly going out and talking to everybody, and I'm walking around, and I felt so much different, so much more
Wow.
empowered, so much more free to not even concern myself with all of the things that I apparently was doing before.
Hmm.
And again, the skepticism of other people, and really kind of it was curative actually to have come from the career path that we've been in, to have this going through and opening our eyes and talking about these things. I mean, it helped.
Getting back to assuming good intentions in people was huge because of the cumulative traumatic stress of those careers and the like he said, being lied to all the time, and just the stuff that we saw, it kind of tends to make you jaded. And through this, coming back around to realizing, no, it's okay, because that's always been my nature, is to assume good intentions in people. And it's bitten me in the ass several times.
Yeah.
But I don't want to lose that part of myself. And that was one of the beautiful little nuggets that came out of all of this. And
wow.
Being able to have conversations with our children about pieces that we were learning that would benefit them, and just having deep conversations with them about meaningful things instead of just like letting them tell me about, I'm still going to listen to the really in-depth description of this video game. Wow.
I played for half an hour. You just played.
That was half an hour of my life. I've never done that, but
so
in
funny.
addition to listening to that, being able to then engage them in some meaningful conversations about some stuff that we were learning that didn't have anything to do with ethical non-monogamy.
Amazing. Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So I love that what you learned, you were able to have that ripple out into other relationships, and also in the end be incredible role models of what a modern marriage can look like, what a modern family can look like, and also in some ways pass down some of the tools that you've learned to your kids. So incredibly beautiful. Well, I want to just honor your sharing and your time here. So I'd love to just ask one more question, which is, would you recommend folks who are maybe struggling the way you all had when you first reached out, who might be struggling if they are coloring outside the lines of heteronormative monogamy and are trying to find the help that they need? Would you recommend going through this program, the Creating Happy and Healthy Open Relationships program, to anyone in that space?
Wholeheartedly. Absolutely would.
And I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical still.
Like, mind-blowing that we got to the point through this that we shared with our children that we are ethically non-monogamous. Like, holy shit, that was
epic. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, we shared it with them. And they didn't freak out.
And they didn't. And their responses were like, okay.
And it was just so mind-blowing and freeing. Like, just to not, we never lied to them, but, we're going out with friends. We just didn't tell them, and it's not like we're giving them details or anything, but we feel like now that they know that, it feels more genuine, more authentic. And like you said, they can see what a modern family looks like. And we've told them from when they were young that, we should try on lots of shoes, and
relationships anyway, in that sense.
So in answer to your question, yes, wholeheartedly would recommend this course to anybody who is, even if you're single and or even if your partner has no interest in it and just says, nope, I'm not doing that with you. You're going to still get so much out of it that it's going to absolutely be worth your time and investment. We have a couple of singles or a couple of people that are in the process that are doing it on their own, not
Mhm.
with their partners, and
Right.
that's been really educational too, and seeing the different dynamics of the people that are involved in a group. It's not just couples, it's one's a throuple, couple of people that are doing it by themselves, a couple of people are experiencing and really trying to discover about their sexual preferences, and just the open communication was so helpful.
Yeah, and
I can't say enough good things.
the relationships that came from being in there and being vulnerable and sharing. There was a group of guys within our group that we were, going through this coursework with on these weekly calls, and being able to be out there and have them, one of them throws something out there that they're struggling with, or that they're doing something, and this is a problem, and or a celebration even, and then to be able to, what, I've been dealing with the same thing, and being able to feel like I'm not the only one.
Mhm.
And then to even put it out there that you're not the only one. I've been dealing with the same damn thing for like a couple of years, and here I'm coming through this, and this is what I've been dealing with, and this is how I've been dealing with it, and the things that have come from it. And there's some resonation with the other person that, holy cow, I get it. You get it. I'm not like just this ignorant idiot that can't get by in life, and I don't know how to handle myself. And you realize that there are so many other people out there doing it, and then the camaraderie and the team that you build out of that. Because even just out of the few weeks that we've been in there, it feels like it was just a few weeks.
Yeah.
And it was 9 weeks of good coursework and videos and sharing. But I've got a group of guys now that we message back and forth, and we're sharing life things, sharing this difficulties, sharing positive things, sharing their whatever. And it's been, that's a hard thing to find too, because within our own community of people that we've grown up around, to do something like this is so like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't share all this stuff to those people.
Mm-mm.
You got to find like-minded people that can understand what we're talking about and dealing with. And here we found those in this course.
Wow. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being so forthright and vulnerable here with the struggles. And I love you claiming, your successes as well. So I just really want to honor that. So for anybody who is struggling in our group here, first of all, we're glad that you found our community at Loving Without Boundaries. And if you are looking for more support in a really powerful way that can help you literally in a matter of weeks, the way Gordon and Jenn have so beautifully described here today, it all starts with a free call. It's simply lovingwithoutboundaries.com/apply. You just go in there, pick a time slot that works for you. There'll be a brief form for you to fill out that just gives me some background for our conversation. And then we're just going to have a beautiful and authentic talk to see if we are a fit to work together. And if so, I will offer you the opportunity to join this life-changing and transformative process if we are a fit. So if you are looking for that, again, it's lovingwithoutboundaries.com/apply. And I look forward to speaking to a lot of you. And again, Gordon and Jenn, thank you so much for saying yes to yourselves, for taking a bet on yourselves and investing in your future and your education. I love that you're a part of our family in terms of this work. And I, from the bottom of my heart, I love you both. And I'm so happy for everything that you two have achieved by doing this work with resilience and with tenacity. So, and thank you for your time, of course.
Thanks for everything that you've obviously put love and sweat into to compile all this for helping others, because there's no way we could have done this on our own.
And the ripple effect that you're causing with this course, like we've talked about, just with the people around us and the family that we're building, and their generational advancements. I mean, there's a ripple effect to everything that you put into this coursework.
Thanks.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'm going to get all teary now. Good tears, good tears. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for your time. So with that, again, for anyone who's struggling, just feel free to book a call. We'll have a beautiful conversation. And no matter what, we're glad you're part of our community. So have an incredible day and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.